is Rex Heuermann. I'm an architect, I'm an architectural consultant, I'm a troubleshooter. Born and raised on Long Island. Okay. Been working in Manhattan since 1987. And it's actually a cabinet maker's hammer.
The work is not done here, but this is a major, major step forward.
My reaction is, this is nuts. It's really, really crazy. You never know, you never know who your neighbors are, right?
Hello everyone and welcome back to another live stream with me, Gilgo. This is Grizzly True Crime, and today we're waiting for a live press conference from the District Attorney, Ray Tierney. He says it's going to be on his Instagram account. I would really hope that soon he's going to shift over to his YouTube channel, because many of us have gone over there and subscribed, and it should be ready to go, you know? It's a lot better quality, of course, on YouTube and all of that. So we're going to be watching that together. It's happening on the hour. So we've got 15 minutes just to talk about some other things quickly. Well, not other things, the actual topic. What are we expecting today? What's going to happen? So we're going to look at this NewsDay article. Welcome to all my moderators. Thank you so much for everything you do. Welcome to all my patrons, members, subscribers, any new Grizzlies in chat. Welcome to Catch LISK as well, who's done some excellent map work and timelines and so much information on this case. So welcome to you as well. And of course, any family and friends of so many victims in this case. Rex Heuermann is the alleged Long Island serial killer, and he's already been charged with 6 murders. Will he be charged with more? Probably. I won't be shocked, eh? So, okay. So let's quickly have a look at this from NewsDay. It says, detailed depiction of unidentified Asian man found off Ocean Parkway in the area of Gilgo victims to be released on Monday. So, of course, we still hope that Asian doe and baby doe, you know, can also be identified. Peaches and baby doe and Asian doe, unidentified at this point, right? And so if they can help identify them, and hopefully the public can help, then maybe there can be answers. Maybe they can find like familial DNA, or, you know, solve those cases, because there's so many cases still unsolved at this point that could be connected to this case. So, okay, so that's what's happening today. There's a detailed depiction of unidentified Asian man found off Ocean Parkway in the area of Gilgo victims to be released on Monday. So that's going to be very interesting as well. All right, so please like and share so others know we are live right now and we are covering the press conference. You just don't know if maybe some people missed the notification, or they're not on Patreon and didn't get that notification. It always helps if you guys like and share. Then people are like, oh, okay. Then they can come and join us. Inside the purple purse. Oh my goodness, thank you so much for your $5 sticker. So this is the District Attorney, Ray Tierney. And they say the Gilgo Beach Task Force will publish photos on Monday from an anthropological reconstruction of male remains found off Ocean Parkway in 2011, as they seek to identify the individual, Suffolk County District Attorney Ray Tierney said. The rendering created by studying the recovered remains is what anthropologists believe the unidentified subject, long described as Asian male, would have looked like. We're hoping to disseminate them in the Asian community, and we're hoping maybe someone will remember a person who looked like him that disappeared in the time frame when he died, Tierney said. The district attorney said investigators are turning to this kind of outreach because of a lack of available Asian DNA in US databases to compare with the remains, and has so far hampered efforts to identify him. I mean, shame. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the anthropologist created the reconstruction by first examining the contours of the skull, Tierney said. And as we've seen from the National Missing and Exploited Children website before, remember we covered the William Deshaun Hamilton case? That is what helped solve the case. That is what helped someone. They also made a rendition, a sketch, and released that, and then somebody recognized him through that. So you just don't know. This could be very effective. So I really hope that there will be answers for this Asian male who's unidentified, right? So they said, we're trying to be scientific about it. The district attorney said they'll start with a skull, the way his brow is shaped, the way his chin is shaped, the nasal cavity, and they can approximate what he would have looked like with flesh and skin. Okay, so the new images are the focus of a news conference Tierney is hosting along with local, state, and federal law enforcement officials at the Suffolk County Police Academy in Brentwood on Monday morning. An announcement Friday promised new information about the victim and updates on the investigation, which has so far connected the killings of 6 female sex workers to Massapequa Park architect Rex A. Heuermann. Yes, Rob's reminding everyone, if you know something, say something. If you see something, hear something, know something, say it. You just never know. I think sometimes people might assume, well, obviously they know that. Like, I don't know if my small, bit of information here can help, but it can help. You know, if we think of Madeline Soto's case, think of the witness who saw the press conference and said, you know what? I saw a guy out there and I saw a vehicle like that and he was holding a tire iron in his hand and looking weird, like looking scared. Yeah, that helped to find Madeline Soto's body. So thanks to that witness, that case obviously, wow, it went steaming right ahead. Thank goodness, right, that they found her then as well. So here too, if you know something, if you see something, if you hear something, please say it, even if you think, I don't know, man, do they really need my tip? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So they say the new images are the focus of a news conference that Tierney is hosting along with local, state, and federal law enforcement officials at the Suffolk County Police Academy. I already read that, right? And they say Rex Heuermann is already connected to the murders of 6 female sex workers. I mean, they could just say 6 females, right? Suffolk police released a less scientific sketch of the male in September of 2011, 5 months after his remains were found during a search that turned up 11 decomposing bodies along the narrow stretch of waterfront highway that included alleged victims of Heuermann. He was described, so the Asian doe is described as 17 to 23 years old and 5 foot 6 inches tall with close cropped hair, investigators said at the time. He was dressed in women's clothing and had been deceased for 5 to 10 years at that point. So that'll also be very interesting for the timeline, right? Former police commissioner Richard Dormer had then told reporters, adding that he may have been a sex worker. The new images will also depict what the man may have looked like while presenting himself as a woman. So we've already seen something like that. Let me just try to find it again. Oh dear. Okay, I'm trying to find it. Just wait. Oh, there we go. Wait, I just want to see like this. I know Catch LISK had it on his page. The picture I've got on my thumbnail as well there. So let me just try to find it quickly for you, because I think that was very useful as well. And I think they're going to obviously release different images today, but at least there's already some out there where somebody thought it might be a good idea to depict the Asian doe. Let me show you the original picture quickly. Okay, hold on. Please like and share while we wait. Okay, there we go. So this is the Asian doe picture. And then somebody's also created this, which I think is very helpful too. Right? So let's see what they released today, if it looks something like this. Okay. So that's what's happening there. And here, if we go to the DOE network, the International Center for Unidentified and Missing Persons, then you can also see the profile of Asian doe. And I'll link this for you. Thank you again to Catch LISK for sharing this so that it's really easy to find. All right. Oh, thank you so much. Catch LISK is saying you send me a message. I'm going to have a look. Oh, nice. Okay. So let me just download this quickly. Just hold on 1 second. Or, wait, sorry guys. Bear with me. Okay. All right. So if we look over here on this DOE network, it says date of discovery was April 4th of 2011. Location of discovery, Gilgo Beach, Suffolk County, New York. Estimated date of death is 5 to 10 years prior. Wow, okay. State of remains, skeletal, cause of death, homicide by blunt force trauma to the head. Physical description, age estimated 17 to 23. Race Asian, and I mean, we know Rex Heuermann's Google searches also included Asian victims or pictures or you know, that he was looking for the word Asian. I think he was looking for children at that point, which is pretty scary. His Google searches are very scary already, just a little bit we know. If you haven't seen any of it, if you're new to the case, just expand the description box. You can read up a little bit there, and then you can find the playlist, because we've done a deep dive on this case for quite some time, of course, since the special task force was formed. And so you could see all of that there. IGG rocks, welcome. So they said 17 to 23 years old is the estimated age of Asian doe, race Asian, male, based on victim's clothing. It's possible the decedent may have lived as a woman. 5'6", weight unknown, hair color unknown, eye color unknown. Distinguishing marks or features. The victim may have had a musculoskeletal disorder that affected how the decedent walked. Identifiers, available. Dentals, available, poor dental health. The victim was missing top and bottom molars, and a front tooth was missing possibly for some time before death. Fingerprints not available, DNA available. So they do have DNA available, they're just not finding a match, right? Now, clothing and personal items. Clothing, woman's clothing, description unavailable. Jewelry unknown, additional personal items unknown. Circumstances of discovery. Sorry, I know the writing's a bit small, but I just want to be able to read all of it, right? I'm reading it to you, so hopefully that helps. Stefan said, so he could have disappeared between 2001 and 2006. Yes, he could have. So the decedent, believed to be a victim of the Long Island serial killer, was discovered at Ocean Parkway, located in Gilgo Beach, New York, in April of 2011. The remains of an unidentified toddler matched through DNA to Peaches were found nearby, with additional remains linked to. It's possible that this particular victim was a sex worker and may have been killed after it was found out by the killer that the victim was not a cisgender woman. So they say additional victims believed to have been murdered by the same killer include, and they've got those as well, which we could click on, but for now I'm just going to focus on this, and I will put this link in the description box for you. Investigating agency, Suffolk County Medical Examiner's Office, and you can see all of that there, right? So now, here's another one from NamUs as well, the profile. So same information. Aya vamos, thank you so much, oh my goodness, for being a member for 1 year. Happy Grizzlyversary. All right, and then that picture that Catch LISK Raul just sent me, let me just quickly find it for you. Thank you so much, Raul, for that. I'm going to just bring this up. There we go. Okay. Interesting. Gilgo Homicide Task Force seeks information regarding a homicide. Interesting. The images displayed above are facial reconstructions created. So it is by the NCMEC. Okay. Created by a forensic artist with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and depict what the victim may have looked like at the time of their disappearance and murder. In the event, the victim identified as a female, and additional depiction was made. On April 4th, 2011, skeletal remains were recovered on Ocean Parkway, Gilgo Beach. Okay, we've got 3 minutes to the press conference. There's the victim description again. Death occurred at least 5 years prior to April 4th of 2011. Clothing recovered from victim. Oh, thank you, Catch LISK. Chrysanthemum, blue, ribbed, short-sleeved shirt with crew neck, Raffaella brand shirt, Bill Blass pants, and a bra. All women's clothing, labels embedded below. Okay, so that's where the screenshot, we could just see just a little bit there, just a little bit at least. Wow, okay, let's make it bigger. Interesting. Lenny, thank you for being a member for 34 months. You said, great work, Gizla. Thank you so much, Lenny. Nice to see you in chat. Thank you all for being here. Okay, so we've got that. And we've got 2 minutes to the press conference. So let me just quickly show you the map here. So obviously, if I zoom out, we're going to New York, everyone. Okay, hold on 1 second. I just want to do this, and then we'll go catch the press conference. Now, why is it being blurry? Don't be blurry. Okay, so we're on Gilgo Beach here, and if you want to see, I think, the most accurate map you possibly can, you got to check out the Catch LISK map time. Oh my goodness, it's on his, on Raul's Twitter page, X, right? So at catch_LISK, and right there, there's a link tree in his bio, and then you can go there and see the map. It is really detailed, so thank you. And it's not just with this case, it's like all missing people. So thank you so much. Okay. So.
The task force does not forget victims, and we will not stop in our pursuit of justice. And what we want to do, because it is our mission. We need to get justice for the victims of homicide, in this case, as well as others. And just as importantly, we need to provide answers to the families of murder victims. So today we're asking for the public's help in identifying an individual who has been known as Asian Doe. They were found on Ocean Parkway near Gilgo Beach in 2011, and despite our best efforts, this person still remains nameless. And by nameless, I mean to us, to members of the task force. This person certainly had a life and loved ones and friends who knew them by their name. And it's important that this victim get their name back, and just as importantly, the people who cared for this individual get answers. So we are hopeful that with this new information and the community's assistance, we will be able to identify Asian Doe and bring a resolution to the case. Before I get into the meat of the press conference, I just want to thank the task force members who are here. Obviously, my team, Chief Investigator Rich Zacharis, and our ADAs and investigators and analysts. We have NCMEC, which is the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. I want to thank them for their assistance. They're not present at the press conference, but as you'll see, they were integral in with their assistance in this case. In this instance, we also have our partners from the Suffolk County PD, Commissioner Rob Waring. Actually, Rob Waring's to my left, he's sneaky. Chief of Detectives Daryl Simmons, as well as Deputy Inspector Sean Barron and their team of investigators. We have the Suffolk County Sheriff's Office. We have the New York State Police, led by Lieutenant St. Drew, and you're going to hear from Lieutenant St. Drew in a moment. We also have the FBI and their team. We thank them for their assistance. We have Senior Supervising Resident Agent Don Osbacher and some investigators on the Gilgo Task Force. We thank them for their assistance and for their presence. The Secret Service, we want to thank them for their help. They're not present at this press conference, but they've been helping with the electronic evidence. We also have received, in this instance, assistance from the New York City Police Department, who are not here. But again, we want to help. Thank the NYPD for helping us gain access to the significant Asian population in the city. Now, before I get into that new information, I just wanted to discuss with you all where you can find the visuals that have been provided to my left. The new information and visuals provided here today will be provided to the press. They will be posted on NCMEC's website and their Help ID Me Facebook page. And again, this is a place where members of the public can go and look at pictures and information concerning missing victims of crime and provide law enforcement with information. There's also a VICAP public webpage and law enforcement repository. VICAP is the Violent Criminal Apprehension Bureau, and that is run by the FBI, and so you could go on their website, provide information, learn information, and of course it is available right now on my website, the District Attorney's website, as well as our social media, and this information includes updated forensic reconstruction images of Asian Doe, which were provided by NCMEC, descriptions of the clothing of the victim, which he was wearing at the time of death, a picture of the various clothing labels of the clothes that were worn, new genealogical data, as well as information as to the victim's age, height, and gender identity information. Now, with regard to the initial investigation in this case, the remains of Asian Doe were discovered on April 4th, 2011. They were found, the skeletal remains were found on Ocean Parkway near Gilgo Beach in New York, I believe found in between, just closest to Megan Waterman. The initial examination revealed the following. The victim was a biological male of Asian descent. The victim was between the ages of 17 and 23. So there, he was a teenager or very young adult when the murder occurred, and he was about 5'6" tall, give or take a couple of inches either way. Unfortunately, this victim suffered a violent death. The cause of death was homicide by blunt force trauma. We know the death occurred during or prior to 2006. And that those remains were on Ocean Beach for at least 5 years before being discovered in 2011. So the actual murder occurred based on the forensic examination of the remains in 2006 or earlier. Some of this information is being released for the first time, specifically the descriptions of the clothes that Asian Doe was wearing at the time of death, and that although Asian Doe was a biological male, Asian Doe was wearing exclusively women's clothing. He was wearing a Chrysanthemum brand blue-ribbed short-sleeved shirt with a crew neck, size large. He was wearing a Raffaella brand shirt, size 10, and he was wearing a pair of women's pants and a bra, both by the brand Bill Blass. And with regard to the forensic reconstruction images, the task force was able to work with National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, NCMEC, and a forensic artist examined the victim's skull to create the facial reconstructions that you see here. And those reconstructions depict what the victim may have looked like prior to their disappearance and murder. We have two pictures of a person with short hair, one head on and one in the profile, and we have a third picture of an individual with long hair. Because the victim was wearing exclusively women's clothing at the time of death, it is possible that they identified as a woman or were known by others as being a woman. The Gilgo Beach Task Force also utilized genetic genealogy to learn more about this victim's specific ethnicity. It was previously known that this victim was of Asian descent. However, now we know that it is a strong likelihood that the victim is of Southern Chinese descent, Han Chinese descent, and Han Chinese is one of the 56 officially recognized ethnicities in the People's Republic of China. This is a significant development because unfortunately South Asia is underrepresented in our genealogy databases, meaning there are not a lot of Asian profiles in the database. Therefore, investigative genetic genealogy in this instance is a challenge. It's a challenge to identify this victim, and so far it has proved to be difficult and has provided few leads. Hence, the purpose for us being here today. We're looking for the media's assistance, and we're looking for the public's assistance in helping us provide information on this victim to get this victim's name back. And I'll just come over. These are pictures of...
Okay, so they're showing the pictures now. The pictures that I have on screen were thankfully sent to me on email from the District Attorney's Office. I'd actually asked this morning if I can be included in the press, so that's really great that we can see it clearly there. They're also going to show it on screen, like in the press conference now, so I'm just going to take the pictures off. I'll show you again afterwards.
The individual, we have a picture of Asian Doe with short, as they would appear with short hair, and a picture of Asian Doe as they would appear with longer hair. Now, with regard to outreach to the community, again, we've leaned on all our partners as we always do, but particularly in this instance, the New York City Police Department and the state troopers. We've asked for the NYPD's assistance in translating this flyer into Mandarin, into Cantonese, into Thai, and into Bahasa, which is an Indonesian language. And the NYPD will further assist in distributing flyers on the ground in the Asian communities across New York City. And again, as we know, there's a significant Asian population in New York City, so we thank them for their help. We've invited several Asian media outlets to be present here in the hopes that they can reach the Asian community directly and provide this information to those communities. regarding our goals for doing this, this is a call to action. We want to enlist the public's help in trying to identify Asian doe. With regard to the translations, we hope that the public and the Asian media outlets will further assist us in translating and disseminating this information into additional Asian dialects, which will further aid in the process of identification. Again, this person had a name, this person had family, this person had friends. We're reaching out to anyone who might have known this individual to help us with that identification. Again, I would just add with regard to DNA databases, those who would like to help identify Asian doe or any other victim or missing persons in the Asian or any other community to help, you can upload your DNA to Family Tree DNA and into GEDmatch Pro and opt into law enforcement matching. Contrary to popular opinion, law enforcement doesn't have access to all DNA databases, and this identification, this IgG technology that we use, as you can see, we don't just utilize it to identify suspects, we also use it to identify victims and to provide closure to the families of missing victims. If you really want to help, please consider uploading your DNA profile into those 2 commercial databases, which allow law enforcement to access that information, but only with the consent of the consumer. Now, third, we ask that if you were around in the late 90s and early 2000s, think about the people you associated with. Think about the people you know. Did anyone of Asian descent go missing? We believe Asian doe may have been working as a sex worker around the time of their disappearance prior to 2006. We believe that they spent some time in New York City prior to their death. And we want to urge the public, don't discount someone just because you know them to be from somewhere outside of New York City, as we know people often come to New York City for a myriad of reasons. Prior to 2006, this person had friends, possible classmates, or co-workers, and a family. Someone knows who this individual is, and we need that person or persons to contact us. So that's what we're asking. Again, with the help of the media, let's get these photos out, let's get this information out, and let's identify Asian doe. Crime Stoppers is offering a $2,500 reward for information leading to the identification of Asian doe. Anyone with information regarding this case or the identification of the victim is asked to contact Crime Stoppers at 1-800-220-TIPS, T-I-P-S, or via email or the mobile app on the flyer. You can do so in your native language. Translation services are available. So if you have difficulty with the English language, but you have information, provide it to us in your native language, and we will translate it. Again, please share this information far and wide, and let's help get this victim identified and give this victim their name back. Prior to taking questions, I'm going to turn it over to the New York State Police. We have, as I've said, we've had Lieutenant Richard St. Preux, and he is going to introduce the Mandarin translator. Thank you, Lieutenant.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm Lieutenant Richard St. Preux with the New York State Police. I cover the Bureau of Criminal Investigation. I'm introducing Trooper Shin Sung Lee, who will be translating into Mandarin.
大家早上好。今天吉尔格海滩凶杀专案组请求广大群众的帮助，来辨认一具发现于2011年4月4日发现的受害人遗体。受害人为亚裔男性，有可能来自于中国南方，有可能为汉族。警方认为受害人的受害时间大约在2006年或者之前。该名受害人怀疑被钝器暴力击打致死。遇害时的年龄大约在17岁到23岁之间。遗体被发现时有穿着女性服装。 我们呼吁广大的华人群众能够帮助警方一起辨认这名照片中的受害人，以及受害人身上的衣物残留。如果在您认识的人当中有2016年，有2006年或者之前的失联人员，并且与照片上的受害人样貌相似，或者是服装相同的话，请务必与苏福克郡警察局联系。我们有提供中文服务。受害人遇害时还只是青少年，在这里我们呼吁广大的华人群众能够积极的在亲友和社区之中传播我们所提供的信息，以便我们可以早日确认这位受害人的身份信息，给受害人一个公道。谢谢大家。
Thank you, Lieutenant, and thank you, Trooper Lee. With that, I'll open it up to questions. Does anybody have any questions? So, we have a bail document which details some of the internet searches done by the defendant, and some did contain searches using similar terms that you just described. Anything else? So yeah, it's a violent death, blunt force trauma, which led to the individual's death. So this was a violent assault resulting in the defendant's death.
District Attorney, is there anybody, like a forensic scientist or someone who can speak to the difficulty of bringing this image?
No, we don't have anyone there, but basically what it is the forensic anthropologists, forensic artists, they start at the skull, and then using the characteristics of the skull, they essentially create, and using their training, of course, they create the diagram of the individual. So we believe this is the most accurate possible depiction of the victim.
And the language that
that was the language that the trooper, Cantonese? I'm sorry, Mandarin.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
Was there good DNA observed at the crime scene prior to 2006? That's 10 years that the victim was there.
Yeah.
Is there DNA you can work with that maybe the client is?
I mean, I think you never say never. We've seen the way that the DNA technology has evolved. So we do have DNA, and so we're working with it.
Were there similarities?
I'll get you in a second.
How rare is it for somebody not to be identified for such a long period of time that no one has come forward and said they think that it's in your career? How rare is that?
It's not unheard of, especially when you're talking about a crime of this nature, and when you're talking about a community that's an immigrant community that tends to be insular. So again, we think a lot of times, and again, this person we believe was brought from outside the jurisdiction into the jurisdiction. So when you combine all those things, it's not that unusual. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we send out the information far and wide, not just to Suffolk County, not just to New York, but across the country and across the world. Yeah, I'm sorry, Greg.
Were there any similarities in the way that this body was disposed of with those that were left nearby? And are you considering Rex Heuermann a suspect in this case?
So if you look at where it was situated, I think it was about 300 or so feet from Megan Waterman in that same stretch of Parkway. So it's between Megan Waterman and Jessica Taylor. And as we've said all along, each one of these these victims, it's a separate crime scene. Start from that separate crime scene, and you work your way up, which we're doing. And it's all nice to speculate, but it basically doesn't matter until you can bring charges, and we're certainly not at that stage. Well, I think probably what you're referencing is specifically with regard to the Gilgo Four. Those were uniquely, they were almost identical, and they're unique from the other bodies. There's always evidence at the scene. And, we're analyzing that evidence, and, if it bears fruit and results in charges, we'll talk about it at that time.
Mr. Tierney, when you talked about how this was found for closed, and you talked about the other witness, Gilgo Four, was there any other material, not burlap, but anything else, a sheet, a pillowcase, anything at all that was found?
I'm not entirely certain. I know specifically that this victim was clad in the clothes that we've described. I don't know what that means. We start from our victim. We start from our crime scene. We work our way out, and we don't talk about it until we're able to charge someone.
So to clarify, you said testing of evidence from the scene. Is there other physical evidence suggesting somebody else thinking somebody else in that scene?
There's always physical evidence, and you work through the physical evidence. You utilize the various modalities. Those modalities are changing, evolving, so it's a continuing process. And until that process is complete, you don't discuss it. So we're not at that stage where we're prepared to discuss it. But there's always a myriad of physical evidence at any scene. It's just whether or not it's relevant or not, or it's able to be tested.
Would you have to know the identity of this person to bring charges against somebody? In other words, if you found out strong evidence of the suspect in this case was at the scene, and we still don't know who this person is, could you charge somebody?
Yes.
D.A. Tierney, was he wrapped in burlap? Was his head separate?
He was not wrapped in burlap.
You did not elaborate about that?
Nope.
And what about internet searches from Heuermann? Did any searches correlate to maybe this victim?
Well, I would just ask that you look at the bail document, because we have a number of searches with regard to searches that could arguably be related to this victim, as well as the Gilgo Beach investigation and the discovery of bodies on Gilgo in general. Sure.
Does it make it more difficult to identify someone if they are male and identify as female? Does that tend to make it more difficult for people to know that someone?
Well, that's it's the public, and some, I think when you talk about, immigrant communities from outside of Suffolk County and a body found inside Suffolk County in general, you wouldn't be all that surprised in having difficulty to identify this particular victim, and then there are all those other factors as well. So not completely unsurprising that we've not been able to identify the victim, but the most important thing is that we identify that victim regardless of the outcome of any criminal case, just to provide that victim and their family with, give the victim his or her name back, and provide the family with closure.
You said you believe this person may have spent time in New York City before their death. What was that based on?
It's based upon our investigation, which I'm not going to get into.
Why now? Why are we here this house? Because the forensic anthropologist just gave these renderings and happened for a while. What's the time?
Yeah, these were done through NCMEC, and that was a fairly involved process. We really appreciate their assistance. Obviously, it's a painstaking process, and it took some time. So, once we had the information available, and also the DNA, the specific genealogy DNA, we wanted to provide it to the public because we think it'll help the investigation and help to identify this individual. Okay. Thank you all so much. Thanks for coming.
Okay. Great. Okay, so let's just go over some of that. I'm going to go over all the details there quickly again for you. I'm going to, just quick one, if you plan to go, don't go now. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to be sharing all the images. There's 3 photos and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 PDFs that I received from the district attorney's office. And I'm going to be sharing those on X because it's all the different Asian dialects, all the different translations, as well as the photos please help me repost those, okay? If you see me post it on X, which used to be called Twitter for someone who was asking earlier, please repost it, because the more we share, it really helps to get momentum. And then other content creators share, and that can really help get the word out. You just don't know who will see it. Also, if you don't have X, please don't worry. What I'm going to do is I'm also going to make a public post on my Patreon, okay? It's Grizzly True Crime, patreon.com, Grizzly True Crime, / Grizzly True Crime, right? I'm going to make a public post on there, meaning you don't have to sign up or pay or do anything. It's public post, operates like Facebook or X. And so I'm going to be putting all the photos there, as well as, if you look, like an email attachment, all the PDFs, so that you can download it. You can then share those on Facebook or with family or wherever you are, okay? I want everyone to share it far and wide. That's one thing that the Grizzlies are really known for and good at, is being very proactive when it comes to this call to action. When there's a call to action, you guys, I've seen you share like nobody's business. So thank you so much to everyone who does that. And you guys are so great, because you don't just do it once. It becomes like a daily thing, a weekly thing. So thank you so much. Let's continue to share it. I really hope that Asian doe will be able to be identified soon, and that there will be answers, right? And of course, the location, while they said they can't right now connect this to Rex Heuermann, the location is pretty suspicious, right? Based on where the other remains were found, based on the other charges he's already facing. Now, Rex Heuermann will be back in court again on October 16th again. So that's the next court date there. And right now, let me just quickly pull up the English version of what they sent me, because it's got a couple more details. Similar to what Catch LISK shared with us before, which is always so informative. Okay, so I'm going to show you this. All right. Let's resize it for you and make sure I also resize myself. Hold on one second. I'm going to move now. Like, you're in the way, Gisela. I know. Okay, hold on one second. So here we go. All right. Wait, let's make sure you can see the whole thing. Oh, okay, it's too big there. Okay, don't worry. I'll scroll. All right. So they've sent this in English, Bahasa Indonesian, Chinese Simplified Mandarin, Traditional Cantonese, and Thai. That's what they say on the document. So we're going to look at this English one quickly. All right, so they've got 3 pictures from the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children, an incredible organization. So the images displayed above are facial reconstructions created by a forensic artist. And this has proven very effective, as I mentioned, the William Deshaun Hamilton case. Remember that one? The Teresa Black trial. If you didn't watch it with us, go check it out. It's got its own playlist. It's a trial that we watched, right? So they say the images displayed above are facial reconstructions created by a forensic artist with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. That's when they say NECMEC, or it's NCMEC. Then you know what that is, and depict what the victim may have looked like prior to their disappearance and murder. In the event the victim identified as a female, an additional depiction is provided. They say rendering, skin tone, and hairstyles have been predicted and should not be used to exclude providing information. On April 4th of 2011, skeletal remains were recovered on Ocean Parkway, Gilgo Beach, New York. Victim description: biological male of Asian descent, likely southern China, Han Chinese South. Approximately 17 to 23 years old at the time of death, approximately 5'3" to 5'9", and they estimated around 5'6", but that's good. They gave like between 5'3" and 5'9". Death occurred at least 5 years prior to April 4th of 2011. And the clothing, this is very important, as well as the clothing recovered. So even if you want to just, either highlight this and share it on social media or screenshot it or something, you just never know. This could really help, right? So clothing recovered from the victim is chrysanthemum, I hope I'm saying that okay, blue ribbed short sleeve shirt with a crew neck, a Raffaella brand shirt, a Bill Blass pants, and a bra. All women's clothing, labels embedded below. Okay, so here's the labels embedded below. This one looks like a size large. There's nothing else here. It says made in Taiwan. Okay, this one is a Raffaella brand shirt label, and Bill Blass pants, and a bra. Now, anyone with information regarding this case or the identification of the victim is asked to contact Crime Stoppers at 1-800-220-TIPS or via email or the mobile app, of course. They've got the link there as well, and they say which can be submitted in your native language. Translation services are available. A reward of up to $2,500 from the Suffolk County Crime Stoppers is being offered for information leading to the identification of the victim. All right. So that is what we have there. So we heard from the District Attorney Ray Tierney as well as the New York State Police. And they did talk as well. The media also had questions about Rex Heuermann's Google searches. Did they include any words like an Asian male or Asian? Yes, they actually did. We've been through that before. So go check out the PCA read-through and how he was caught and all of that, because all of that information is in there. And then, of course, they said they're going to be publishing this to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children's website. They're also going to post it to the Help ID Me Facebook page, VICAB site, so VCAB site, that's from the FBI, and the District Attorney's website and social media. And of course, I'll be posting it as well, and we'll be sharing it like crazy, right? So we'll be doing that. Someone said download Patreon. Thank you so much for downloading Patreon or going to it. You can go on a browser. Patreon, it's patreon.com/Grizzly True Crime. I'm going to be sharing it there right after this live stream, okay? So yeah, everything I went over there for this. Okay, now hold on one second. I want to share one more thing with you quickly, which will be this article while we're talking about this case. John Bitrolf is another killer that operated in the area at the time. They thought he was responsible for murders that Rex Heuermann was just recently charged with as well. So, of course, one would expect this next move from John Bitrolf's defense team, where they say convicted killer John Bitrolf wants to pin murders on Rex Heuermann. So I think Rex Heuermann's defense team would want to pin the murders on him, and I think his defense team will want to pin the murders on Rex Heuermann, because there were 3 victims found in one area, of which 2 have now been, Rex Heuermann's been charged with 2 of them. 2 of them? 1 of them. Rex Heuermann was charged with 1 of them, and John Bitrolf with 2. I'll check that again, but we've done many episodes on that as well, so go check that out. Let me just quickly read this to you. A Manaville man convicted in 2 early 1990s. There we go. 2 slayings is, I hate it when they call it slayings. 2 murders, is seeking a review of his case after alleged Gilgo Beach serial killer Rex A. Heuermann was charged in a 3rd homicide from the same time frame with an eerily similar crime scene, court records show. Ooh, my goodness. That was quite something as well. Very strange as well. Like, wait, what? If Rex is responsible for 1, is he not also responsible for the other 2? Apparently not. So they say John Bitrolf was convicted in the 1993 murder of Rita Tangredi and the 1994 murder of Colleen McNamee, and was long suspected in the death of Sandra Costilla. And so is pushing for exoneration after Heuermann was indicted June 6th in the 1993 killing of Costilla. So that's what Rex Heuermann was recently charged with, Sandra Costilla's murder. All 3 women, Sandra, Rita, and Colleen, were all killed within the same time frame. All 3 women were found in a wooded area, their legs spread apart, their hands were above their head, they were each missing 1 shoe, Bitrolf's attorney, Lisa Maracoccia, said in an interview. Colleen and Sandra both had their shirts pulled up over their faces, and the DA's office has also claimed that there were wood chips on all 3 bodies. Any logical person would believe one person was responsible for all 3 murders. We actually have done an episode on that where we discussed exactly that and the possibility and all that. Maracoccia Appeals Deputy Bureau Chief for the Legal Aid Society in Suffolk County is asking the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office to release forensic evidence from the Costilla crime scene and to perform the same mitochondrial DNA testing used to charge Heuermann on previously untested hairs found at the Tangredi and McNamee crime scenes, letters obtained by NewsDay show. Code Gray here says, Grizzlies are the best. I agree. The Grizzlies are the best. Thank you so much, all. If you don't know what a grizzly is, obviously, a grizzly is a bear, a grizzly bear. So the word is not grizzly like gruesome, it's grizzly bear. Basically, it's grizzly bear true crime, but it makes more sense to call it grizzly true crime. If you're an OG, you'll know my channel used to be called Grizzly Books True Crime because I wrote some books before I became a YouTuber, right? And so if you just subscribe, that's all you got to do. Subscribe, it's free, click the button, you're a grizzly. All right, you don't have to become a member or anything like that. So that's interesting. Thank you again to Raul Catchless for sending me this. This article just dropped today. So this is news from this morning. All right. And now, of course, we've gone over everything that they just discussed at the press conference. So I don't want to make this too long. I want to make sure the stream is effective, shared widely. Let's see how long have we been here. Just under an hour. That's great. So please like, share, let other people find this information. I'm going to get to work now putting this on Patreon. I'm going to put it on X as well. And I will see you all on X if you are there. If you are on Patreon or not, go check out my Patreon so that I'll make a public post now. So you get all the photos, you get all the documents and everything. Let's share and share and share. Do it every now and then. Even if you tell yourself once a week, I'm going to do this. That would be very helpful, right? To keep on sharing it. And if you tag me and I see it, I'm going to be reposting it as well. So thank you so much. All right, well, that's what I have for now. Again, if you want some extensive map time, please check out Catch LISK. I'll make sure that I link Catch LISK's X page. And Catch LISK, I think you also have a website. I'm going to link everything below for you so that you can check that out as well. And then I will see you all very soon. I'm going to be covering the Carly Gregg trial this week, so I'll see you for that. All right, so make sure you subscribe, notifications on, and all of that, right? Okay, so thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, mods. See you very soon. Now let's get sharing, okay? Let's go out there and share. Bye, everyone.